This question is really about perhaps the most important piece of knowledge that exists. What is God's unspeakable name? What does this mean? A name, my name is Tim. If I'm in a crowded room and you call out Tim, that will distinguish me from everybody else who's in the room who's not called Tim. So a name distinguishes itself from everything else. So all the different objects that exist, they all got names. Only humans are on the level where we name things so that we can isolate them and distinguish them. But God, what is God's name? What is God's unspeakable name? Now, God has many names that can be spoken. Krishna is a name that many people use for God. Ram, Ganesh, Jehovah, Allah, etc. But these names are all speakable. And they're good and they work to various degrees. People who repeat over and over again the name of God, as in Allah, or a derivative of that, they wouldn't do it if they didn't feel some fire being created by doing it. And those people that sing the names of Krishna and do it a lot, they wouldn't do it if they didn't feel something from it. But what is God's true name? What is it that calls God? What is it that distinguishes God from everything else? God, in this context, we're talking about the divine. So there's like this dream that we're all in, and then there's the divine. I'm like a dream creature that is seeking the divine by calling God's name. I have to go to it. I have to find it. Now, God's name is the most amazing thing. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Meaning that God's name is not separate from God. It's one and the same. God's name is not made up of letters. It's not made up of elements. It's not symbolic. It's not metaphorical. God's name, that which cannot be spoken, how does it get called then, if we can't speak it with our voice? It's not even thought of either. Within us, there is a spark. And from that spark, our breath comes. And from that breath, our 5 bodies are held together in space and time. Within our breath, there is what you could call the holy breath. Within the breath. It's not oxygen. It's something far more wonderful and more subtle. To call God's name, we just have to remember and allow the subtlest element of our breath to bring our attention there. And the more we keep our attention there, the more it pulls us back into the very core of our being, into the very heart of our heart, where the divine is found. Remembering that it's there, and gradually we make our way out of our mind, which is very contracted, which is filled with thoughts. There's no joy in the mind. There's no love in the mind. There's no peace in the mind. But when we follow the breath back, we start to feel God's name reverberating. And we call it by attending to it, by placing our attention on it. And as we do, each time and over years, we leave the mind. We leave the busy realm of thinking and come into the heart. The purest point of the heart is divine, inconceivable, indescribable. And we approach it, and as we do, we lay down more and more burden, more and more form, until all that's left is pure attention. And then we realize that that attention actually is a beautiful quality of that divine gifted to us, so we could make this return. No one sees God, isn't it? That's a saying. No one sees God and returns. We dissolve before we realize that fully. And the more we follow that remembrance, the more we call God's unspeakable holy name, a very beautiful and subtle transformation happens, where the energy of life, the unified field that pervades everything and is everywhere equally and evenly always, when we start to feel that from the heart, looking into the world from the heart, amazingly, God's name becomes love. And the energy of life becomes love. And you realize that the heart really does have reasons that reason knows not of. That what the heart knows is what we desperately need to know. What the heart is what we really need to be. And where the heart is, that is where we need to be coming from. The magic of our life arises out of the light within the heart, and it causes us to breathe. And the way back is by remembering the name hidden in the breath.